Hello, welcome back. Let's get cracking for another day, show you what we're going to do. Here we are, we're already in the kitchen. As you can see, we have got a lot of plugs to get out of the wall. Everywhere there's a plug. As you can see, this bit of wall absolutely crumbled, so she does want a tiled splashback. So I'm hoping that we can just bond this bit out, make it nice and smooth, ready to accept a tile splashback. Want to get the remainder of all these tiles off the walls today. So all the bits here, all around these plug sockets, over here as well, get all of these tiles off. Want to get all the laminate up so that she can take that to the dump. She's already doing dump run number 1. Want to get the skirting board off here, and behind my little workmate here there's another piece of skirting board, so we want to get that off, and also look at seeing whether we can get some whitewash on the ceilings. This stuff in the hallway has dried off lovely, so hopefully I'll be able to sand that today, get cracking. Also, as we look over here, nice fresh, needs a good sand. Hopefully that should be then done. Need to sand where we bonded here for the chase. If you remember, the chase went up here, across, round to the socket there. But the wall also kind of half collapsed. So put all that back together. One of the things that I did look at this morning was this corner has absolutely crumbled away. You can see like half my hand disappears into that. So I want to build that back out with some bonding so that we can then fill and sand. With a house like this, 100 years old, 125 years old, getting all of these cracks. So we need to rake this out and then fill it, get all the bonding done first, and then skim over it, kind of like what we did with the corner. Let's go. So here's my tip on how to remove raw plugs from the wall in a nice simple way. Get yourself a nice screw with a big meaty thread on it. What we're going to do is we're going to put that into there. This one obviously just pulled out. They don't often do that. But then if we look at, say, this plug here, we'll start to screw it in. Use the impact driver just to push it in a little bit more. Now we don't want to send it all the way home. We just want it to be in there for 5 or 6 threads. Get your claw hammer, pull it out. As you can see, raw plug and screw. Remove and repeat. Plasterboard. Let's cut this section out and then we can put a new bit of plasterboard in its place. That'll be much easier than trying to chip all of these off the wall. we've exposed the stud wall here, we can see that they boarded up an alcove. Not really sure why. See if I can get a light to make it a little bit better to see. Look at that. Why would you have boarded that up? It goes all the way up as well. Nice height. Very strange. Nice that they put all their rubbish in there, left all that for another day. This is all battened out. Interesting. Yep, got a bit carried away. So, cut along, took the tiles out, took the bottom out. As you can see there, it's a lovely little alcove. So what we're going to do is my good friend Dean is going to pick us up a few sheets of plasterboard during the week and drop them round. We'll fill all of this in. The new cabinets will go there, the new splashback will go above, so you won't see anything. And then what we've said is further down the line, what would be really nice is to cut a hole in here and add in some nice recessed shelves there so that she has even more storage now that we know it goes all the way up. How to turn a bad situation into a good one. Now all we need to do in here, so it's ready, is to take off the skirting board there and there, take off the skirting board that's around the radiators there, and then start to repair. Let's go. So I thought what I would do is, we've done a lot of sanding and I'll show you that in a second, but also I wanted to put my laser on the wall, get that hung and see how far out of level was the original picture rail. So as you can see here, it is roughly 20 mil. This side 25, 24, and what I did is I set it to its lowest height, or the bit where it was lowest originally. So if we go up here, you can see this is where the original line was, and it just runs out as it goes round the room. Which is quite strange. You see it suspended up there. We cut back all of the nails. These dado rails have all been finished sanded now, so they'll be dusted and painted during the week. This one come out lovely. This was the one, if you remember, was really bad. And this is the corner that had a gaping hole in it. So what we'll do is, we don't have to worry about these little holes here, because that's going to be covered by the wood. And then what we'll do is, once we put the new dado rail on, we'll do any finish filling and sand in there. When we come over and look at this, looks like an absolute bomb's gone off at the moment, but this has all been sanded. I've used my level so that I can see exactly where the high spots were, where the low spots were. As it stands at the moment, we're going to dust this, give it a coat of paint and see how it looks. My sister wants some shelves going across the alcove and eventually some cupboards built in down the bottom. So we will see how we get on with that. But really happy with the progress, and the reason that I've pinged this line across is what I would actually like to do is, there's a lip at the top which I'll show you. There's this little lip here, and what I'm hoping is I can scrape that back with a filling knife, scrape it back, and when we put the new picture rail on, we'll see whether we can bridge this gap here. So hopefully you won't see any of the old nails and you won't see any of this joint at all. And hopefully that will just be a much nicer, easier fix than having to fill and sand this exactly the same as we filled and sanded the dado rail. Let's go. Right, so video 3, and I clearly forgot to turn the microphone on, so I'm going to be doing my first voiceover. Let's see how we managed to get on today. So we made some good progress with the sanding, and then up in this corner I managed to put some bonding into the corner there. There was a big hole / crack there. We've managed to put loads of filler and sanding done. Managed to put some bonding in this corner and a couple of the other corners in the bay. Put a first coat on that corner, which was the really bad one that was quite deep. So managed to build that back out with bonding, and then put some bonding in these corner areas to save any further cracking because there's that gap. Finished this corner up and managed to put some filler up the top sides there where there was some cracks, so they were raked out and filled. Put in a first skim. That's the piece that I epoxied on last week. But the living room doesn't look like it, but is really starting to come together now. Going through the hallway, I've sanded and filled there. Into the bedroom, starting to create a bit of space in here. Still need to get the skirting boards out, the radiators out and everything, but we've managed to create a little bit of space in here. Now as we move back towards the kitchen, this is where the biggest change is. We've moved the cupboards into their proper positions. So there is going to be a 4-drawer cabinet there, the oven cabinet, the slimline dishwasher, the corner cabinet, then the sink cabinet. Over here, these are the 2 wall cabinets that we're going to be used as base cabinets, and then I'm going to plaster in and put the 2 sockets above, which should make that area look so much better. The laminate flooring is up on here as well, and this is the doors that she's chosen. This is the Howden's Allendale porcelain, and these are the 3 samples of worktop that she's looking at the moment. This is a compact laminate worktop, so it's only 12 millimeters thick. Still need to take this radiator off so that I can get behind there and sort all of that out, and we're going to have to repipe it all for the new rad, and then the other rad is fed in the hallway from that one, but she's going with vertical column radiators, so that will be replaced there. In the living room, it's a 1.5 meter horizontal column radiator to replace this 2.5 meter old radiator in here. And yeah, as you can see, got quite a lot done, and stay tuned for the next video.